Hi everyone, my name is Andy and I am the Resell Chick. Welcome to my channel. This is my first video. I have been wanting to do this for a long time, years actually, and I don't know, I guess I just didn't figure anybody would care about what I had to say. So this is my first video. I decided to do it. Why not? So this morning, I am actually going to ship my packages. I am warming up my car right now. It's very cold this morning. It's about 27 degrees, and I don't like it. I don't like the cold. So, I'm going to ship my packages, and then we're going to talk about what we sold this weekend. My first video, I was going to do a thrift haul, and a friend of mine just brought me a bunch of stuff. So, I'm not going to be thrifting for a little while. And I really wanted to just jump in and start. So it's going to be what's sold, and kind of introduce you to me and to our business and what we do. And so stick around and we'll be back. So welcome back. I shipped my packages and I had to run to the UPS store for an Amazon return, not eBay related, not resale related. I bought a ring light and it's defective, so I had to send it back. But I thought I would, while I'm driving home, the UPS store is like the next little town over, so it's about 15 minutes. So while I'm driving back, I decided that I would tell you guys a little bit about us and how we became resellers and all of that. Anthony, my significant other, he started doing retail arbitrage. He works he has a full-time career. I was working a full-time career. I was in the asset protection loss prevention field, and he just started doing some retail arbitrage. He had read about it on Reddit, and he decided that he would just kind of see what it was about. In the meantime, the company that I worked for, I was working at a see, here's another thing. This is why I'm not sure I can drive and film, because I tend to get a little road ragey, and I don't want to say bad words, and I'll get, if I ever do get monetized, then they'll demonetize my video. So that's funny. But anyway, I was working for a very large department store, which is no longer around. So they came in and they laid a bunch of us off. And so while I was like, well, while I'm looking for another job, I will help Anthony figure out this whole retail arbitrage resell thing. And so we started watching videos on YouTube and researching and doing all of that. And we watched the first YouTuber that we watched was Pete, Craigslist Hunter Pete. Love Pete, still watch Pete. But we learned a lot from him, and we watched a few other people, some that are no longer around, but we learned a lot. I decided that I was not going to back into the loss prevention asset protection field. I'm no spring chicken, and I was no spring chicken at that point, and it was getting very dangerous, and I just decided that I was going to try to make this work full time. Just jumped right into it, and it's been a little over 5 years since we started, and I love it. Anthony is still working full time. I have worked some part-time jobs here and there, just for to get out of the house, and for like me money, what I call my makeup money, because I have a little bit of an addiction there with makeup. So yeah, that's our story. We've made a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes. Especially, you know, when we first started out, we were like, oh, I bet this will sell. No. We started off selling mainly men's denim because that's kind of what I knew. And don't ask me how I knew that, but I just did. And, you know, kind of higher end men's dress clothes, dress shirts, dress pants, suits. Suits are very long tail for us. It wasn't until a few years ago, my mom had this storage unit that was my grandmother's. Well, it was my mom's, but it had a lot of my grandmother's and great-grandmother's things in it from their estate, and it was things that we didn't donate, or, you know, things that my mom kind of wanted to keep. But then my mom realized that she hadn't been in her storage unit for like 7 or 8 years. So she had been paying every month for the storage unit. So she decided that she didn't want that bill anymore, and she obviously didn't have any kind of connection to these things because she hasn't even looked at them in 7 years. And so she said, hey, if you guys come help me clean it out, you guys can keep whatever you want to sell. Okay. Free stuff. Free stuff is always good. So there were a lot of different things in that storage unit. A lot of vintage, a lot of antique, ephemera, paper, you know, and vintage paper, cards, sheet music, that kind of thing. And plus my grandmother sold Avon forever. So there was a lot of vintage Avon items, and which some do well, some don't. Christmas items do really well. So I decided that we were going to broaden our horizons, and I had 40 boxes of things in my living room for a couple of weeks before I kind of got them a little more organized and all of that. And so now we sell everything. If it's going to sell, I'm going to sell it. If it's going to sell for a profit, I'm going to sell it. I've kind of gotten outside of my head on things that, you know, I was diehard selling, and I just decided to diversify, and it's been great. I'm really glad we did. That's another reason why I'm doing a what sold video this weekend. We've sold so many different things, so many genres of reselling. Yeah, so many different types of items, and so yeah, that's our story. I love it. I absolutely love what I do. And so I'm going to stop at the gas station and grab a drink. I'm in Ohio, so we say pop. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'll be back with what sold. So stick around. And this is Gracie. She's our mascot. She is our company mascot, and the best girl. She's the best girl. We have had Gracie for about 8 years. She was 3 when we adopted her. She is a full-blooded German short-haired pointer. Then I don't care that she's full-blooded. People always think she's a chocolate lab. And she is a German short-haired pointer. And she's an old girl. Yeah, it's hers all gray. Yeah. And we're back again. Thanks for coming back. I have my dog down here with me, so she might jostle the camera a little bit. But just got done listing a few things. I had some jewelry that was my own personal jewelry that I decided to get rid of, new in box stuff. So I just got done listing that. And so now I'm going to talk about what sold this weekend. There are a couple of things that are that sold last week, like this past week, that I thought were interesting. So I'm going to talk about those a little bit. But I'm going to use my dog as a table here because I have everything written down. We mostly go to Goodwill. The Goodwills around me used to be really great, and now they're just okay. So a lot of our jeans that we buy, I do sell Levi's. I sell Levi's very well. Some people say that Levi's don't sell. They sell well for us. That is, and I really don't like this term, but bread and butter, they are bread and butter for us. We sell them consistently. And not all models sell really well, but certain ones sell very well for us. So I will talk about those. And so we pay $5 for our Levi's. Also, I go to this little mom and pop thrift store that's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, about 20 minutes away from us. So I will kind of tell you the things that we bought there. They have great prices. They have really neat items, things that are a little different that you wouldn't normally see at every thrift store. So I really like it there. So let's go ahead and get started. I sold these Levi's 517 jeans. These were a little more worn than I thought they were when I first saw them, when I bought them. So we sold this for $20.88, paid $5, like I said. I only buy them if they look brand new, and these looked really great, but for some whatever reason, I didn't see the knees. So as you can see in the photo, the knees are worn, a little worn. Next up are these Levi's 514 jeans. Sold those for $26.88. That is full price plus shipping. Almost everything is plus shipping. I'll just say that. We do plus shipping on almost everything. I'm doing a little experiment with some of the things that I'm listing within the last month or so that I might do free shipping on. I'm just kind of experimenting. We started off doing free shipping, and then we changed to plus shipping. And now I'm just kind of, I don't know, I'm just kind of changing it up just to see, you know, what sells and why it sells and how it sells and all of that, you know. So the next thing is this Amia women's corset. It is a waist trainer. It was new in package. I paid $0 for that. A friend of mine gave it to me. And she gave it to me to sell, see if I could sell it. And it is $24.88. It was $24.88. Next up, I found these at this my little mom and pop place, and that is these Oakley snow pants. These looked brand new. I paid $8 for them, and I took a best offer of $45. And I believe those were free shipping because I knew I could fit them in a padded flat rate, and it took some jamming and cramming, but I did get it in a padded flat rate. The next up is this International Silver Company stainless steel flatware. Now, I love selling flatware. A friend of mine, who is also a reseller, kind of taught me things about flatware, and she sells a ton of flatware. And she would always pick it up when we would be out thrifting, and I'm like, really? You're going to pick that up? And they sell. It sells. Not all flatware sells. There's some that's cheap and it will not sell, or it won't sell for a profit. But there are some, especially like vintage. If you follow me on Instagram, and if you don't, you should. You should. I've talked about flatware a couple times. I'm sorry, there's like, my dog is shedding and it's driving me crazy. But what was I saying? Oh, flatware. So there are some brands that sell better than others. You will have to do your research. Also, if you find flatware and you find that it does sell, but you don't know what the pattern is, you know, the pattern on like the handle, all of them have a certain pattern. And if they are a higher end flatware, you should be able to find that pattern, and it will sell better if you put that in the listing. So if you go to replacements.com, it's not easy. It's not going to be like you put it in and you're going to find it. You're going to have to search, but you really need to find the pattern name. So anyway, I paid $5.99 for that for 42 pieces. So another thing about flatware is if I find them in, if I find them and there is a complete place setting, like salad fork, dinner fork, butter knife, dinner spoon, and teaspoon, I will sell that separately. After I do that, then I'll see what's left. So I lotted these 4 dinner forks together for $19.88. The next thing is this River of Dreams by Billy Joel. It is sheet music that I paid $0 for. That was in my mom's storage unit that I talked about at the beginning of the video, but it was mine. That was my sheet music. I love Billy Joel. I have a thing, not a thing for him, but I love his music. He's timeless. I love him. Next up is these Callaway women's Playa golf shoes. They were brand new. I found them for $4 at my mom and pop thrift store. And so I sold those for $34.88 plus shipping. The next up is these Levi's 514 jeans, another pair of 514s. 514s sell well for us. And I sold those for full price of $26.88 plus shipping. Okay, now we have this Torrid chunky necklace. This, and there's another Torrid necklace that sold this weekend. Those came from my friend who, I have a friend who likes to shop a lot. And about once a year, she cleans out her closet, and most of it is new with tags. And I buy it for pennies on the dollar. And she just wants some money for it, and she wants it out of her closet. She just really likes to shop. I think she likes to shop more than she likes to wear it. So I paid $2 for this from her, and I sold it for $12.88. And the next thing I found at my mom and pop place, and it is a Philips Avent electric 4-in-1 sterilizer. It sterilizes bottles and pacifiers and all of that. This was new in box. The box was a little beat up, but I disclosed that in my listing, and I bought it for $7 and I sold it for $48 plus shipping. Now that one I am going to refund a little bit of shipping because I did calculated shipping on this. On my big boxes and things that are heavy, I always do calculated. Sometimes eBay charges them way more than what it's going to cost. So I am going to refund them some back. I don't, if it's just a few dollars, I don't, but this was like $7 difference. Next up is Christmas Carolers Song and Storybook, and this is from 1935. This I paid $0 for. This was in the storage unit, and I sold it for $9.88. Next up is this Izod quarter zip men's fleece. Now, we have had this forever. And when I mean forever, I mean like 4 years. We've had this for like 4 years. We have a lot of storage room in our basement. So as far as clothing, because it doesn't take up much room, I will sit on something. Now this was not a good purchase, and it finally sold. Actually, I took a best offer of $16. I have $4 into it. I'm really kind of surprised that it sold for what it sold for, because there's a lot of things, a lot of mistakes that we made at the beginning of brands that we thought would sell that didn't, and you know, we were newbies and we didn't know what we were doing. So there are some things that we sold that I've tried to get rid of most of them by just putting them either on auction or just really reducing the price. So but this sold for $16, which 4 into 16 is not bad. Next up are these Levi's 511 jeans. 511 sell well for us. They are a slim fit tapered leg jean, and these sold for $22.85. Next up is this vintage set of Avon ornaments, Christmas ornaments. This I took a best offer of $7 for. I just kind of wanted to get rid of it. Some Avon does really well, some does not. This was just not, it wasn't like a collectible. It was just a set of ornaments. So, and I paid $0 for it. The next up is another Torrid chunky necklace. This I again paid $2 for and sold for full price of $12.88 plus shipping. Next up, this White House Black Market cocktail dress. Now, I do not pick up White House Black Market. This was from my daughter's closet. It was, I think she wore it to homecoming or something one year. And all of her formals, except for one, I think one formal we got, she paid full price for. But all the rest of her formals all through school, homecoming, prom, military ball, because she was in ROTC, they all came from thrift stores. She loved it. She loves shopping at thrift stores, which I'm really glad. So I actually paid $0 for it, but I guess technically probably around $6 for it whenever she bought it. Next up, okay, so that's all that sold. After the Torrid was all that sold this weekend. This other stuff is just stuff I wanted to talk about. So the White House Black Market dress. This Pyrex mugs. I got those for $0.25 a piece and sold them for $19.88. I don't know, it was kind of a nostalgia thing. I remember the same pattern of Pyrex, these coffee mugs. I remember being at my mom's friend's house when I was really little, and her friend had these, and they would drink coffee and talk, and I don't know, I was really excited to find them. They didn't sell for as well as I thought they would. I didn't look them up. I just wanted them. I just wanted them to sell for whatever reason. So, but that sold. And then I also had this on my Instagram this week. I thought this was really interesting. This is an antique Peter's Modern Pianoforte. It is a method book, so like a teaching book, and it is from 1907, and it was in amazing shape. This was from my storage unit, so I paid $0 for it, and it was we sold it for $29.88 plus shipping, but goes media mail, so they didn't pay much. Next up, this, and I also had this on my Instagram this week, this Elvis fabric. My friend that sold me the clothes, her parents were getting ready to have a garage sale, and her mom just told me to go through and just take whatever I wanted for free. And I found this Elvis fabric. I actually found 2 different panels of it. The other one was more of a muted, they were more muted tones, and this one was really bright. And I was going to lot them together, but I decided to try to sell them separately, and sold for $14.88. And just when you're out and about, garage sales, thrift stores, whatever, look at the fabric, or even like the linens, because I've found some, I sold not too long ago. I don't know if people remember Holly Hobby. I'm older. So Holly Hobby was really, really popular in the 70s. And I found a bed sheet at the bins of all places. And I sold that for I think I sold it for $25. Yeah, I think I did. But so vintage linens, if you find the complete set, it's even better. Like if you find the fitted sheet, the top sheet, and the pillowcase. I've never found that, but I thought this fabric was really cool, so I picked it up. Sometimes different really sells. Lastly, that a thing I want to talk about, and this came from my storage unit, so I have $0 into it. They bought it for $5.88. They are antique cards. They're from the 30s and 40s. They were my great-grandmother's. My great-grandmother saved every greeting card she ever got, so I have a lot of them for sale. Now, in saying that, I've had some people say that they think it's mean that I'm selling these things, but first of all, I don't have room for all of this, and I don't form emotional attachments to things, which is I think why I'm why we do well at reselling, because I don't form emotional attachments to things. I have emotional attachments to people and not things. I did keep a few things from my grandmother, but I didn't really have a relationship with my great-grandmother at all. So I'm okay with selling her things. Besides, I sell it to people who will appreciate it and love it. And I think it would be better off that way than in a freaking box somewhere. So that's my thinking. That's how I feel about reselling my grandmother's things. I don't have room for just things to lay around. I'm not one of those people that keeps things for sentimental value. I have some things. I have the outfit that I brought my daughter home from the hospital in. I will keep that. I will keep that forever. Just things like that I don't know. But as far as things from people, I have the memories of them in my head, so I don't really need them in front of me. So maybe that makes me weird. I don't know. So, but that wraps it up. That wraps up my video. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but if you're still here, thank you for sticking around. I really appreciate it. And going forward, I'm going to just to, talk about things that work for us. Sales, maybe some thrifting, different processes that we use that work for us. And, whatever, day in the life of a reseller maybe. I don't know. I actually kind of really like watching those. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And if you want to see more content from me, hit the subscribe button. Appreciate that too. And go follow me on Instagram. It's @ResellChick, just like here, @ResellChick. It's been great spending the afternoon with you. And thank you for sharing my first video with me. Really appreciate that. So until next time, have a great evening and go make that money.